Venezuela is on the brink, teetering on the edge of a precipice that threatens to plunge the nation into deeper chaos and uncertainty. The country, once one of the wealthiest in Latin America, is now grappling with a crisis that seems to have no end in sight. The disputed elections have only exacerbated the situation, plunging the nation into a state of turmoil that has left its citizens in a state of constant fear and anxiety. The streets of Caracas and other major cities have become battlegrounds, with protesters clashing with police and security forces on a daily basis. The July 28th presidential elections in Venezuela have sparked a political firestorm, igniting tensions that have been simmering for years. The elections, which were supposed to be a beacon of hope for a nation in crisis, have instead become a symbol of its deepening divisions. Allegations of fraud and a lack of transparency have left the nation in turmoil. The opposition, led by Edmundo Gonzalez, has accused the Maduro government of manipulating the results, and these claims have resonated with a populace already weary of corruption and mismanagement. The opposition, led by Edmundo Gonzalez, claims the Maduro government manipulated the results and is demanding a recount. Gonzalez, a charismatic leader, has galvanized support from various sectors of society, including students, professionals, and even some former supporters of Maduro. The National Electoral Council, seen as under Maduro's control, has been slow to release verifiable results, further fueling suspicions. This delay has only added to the sense of frustration and anger among the opposition and its supporters, who feel that their voices are being silenced. The opposition has published tally sheets online, asserting Gonzalez as the rightful winner, escalating tensions across the country. These tally sheets, which have been widely circulated on social media, have become a rallying point for those who believe that the election was stolen. The Supreme Court's intervention, perceived as biased towards Maduro, has only deepened the crisis, casting doubt on any potential resolution. The court's decisions have been seen as favoring the government, further eroding trust in the country's institutions. Internationally, responses have varied. The United States and several Latin American countries have condemned the violence and urged a peaceful resolution. These countries have called for new elections and have offered to mediate talks between the government and the opposition. Yet, Maduro's key allies, Russia and China, continue their support, complicating diplomatic efforts. These countries have provided economic and military aid to Maduro's government, bolstering his position and making it more difficult for the opposition to gain traction. The opposition faces mounting pressure, with reports of arrests and intimidation by the Maduro regime. Human rights organizations have documented numerous cases of abuse, including arbitrary detentions, torture, and extrajudicial killings. Despite this, they persist in their calls for transparency and democratic norms. The opposition has organized peaceful protests and rallies, calling for an end to the violence and for the government to respect the will of the people. Global leaders, including Pope Francis, have urged both sides to engage in dialogue and avoid further bloodshed. The Pope has called for a peaceful resolution to the crisis, emphasizing the need for reconciliation and unity. However, Maduro remains defiant, accusing foreign powers of interference and vowing to maintain control. He has portrayed the opposition as puppets of the United States and other foreign governments, and has vowed to defend Venezuela's sovereignty at all costs. As Venezuela grapples with this political impasse, the future of its democracy hangs in the balance. The country is facing a humanitarian crisis, with shortages of food, medicine, and other basic necessities. The economy is in free fall, and millions of Venezuelans have fled the country in search of a better life. The international community continues to watch closely, hoping for a resolution to this escalating crisis. The United Nations has called for an end to the violence and for all parties to respect human rights and the rule of law. The world is watching, and the stakes could not be higher for the people of Venezuela.